girls. How's everybody today?
Hey there. We're good.
I know we haven't seen each other in a long time.
It feels like a really long time.
The
Really
band is
long.
back together.
Yeah.
Yay! That's what it feels like.
It does.
Except we like each other.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're not doing it for the money.
That's right.
We're not going to break up. No, we're not breaking up.
Right.
Hi, we're on the RAGS, but you'd know that or you wouldn't be here.
That's right.
And we're on the RAGS because
Risa.
Amy.
Gloria,
Sloan.
here we are.
Here we are. We have a great episode today. I'm very excited.
So excited to
Very,
get
very
there.
exciting.
So should we do a couple headlines?
Yes,
though?
please.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a lot going on in the world.
So there's, I think I have to read this, sort of. NASA and SpaceX are launching their first civilian flight crew on the Dragon spacecraft, and it's called the Inspirational 4 mission. And it's launching from Kennedy on September 15th. The astronauts, they're not astronauts, the people are going there on September 9th. And it's one man that gave an undisclosed amount of money, and 3 people won these seats. And I watched this show about it last night. One seat was hope, one seat was inspiration, and the person that's hope. This mission is to raise money for St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis.
Oh, that's
That's
fabulous.
And one of the people on the crew is a young girl who is a cancer survivor, and she was at St. Jude's in Memphis. And she vowed when she was healthy and got older that she would be a nurse there, and she is.
Oh, I've seen that. She is amazing.
It's an amazing story. So we wish them the best of luck on
I can't
September
believe you're
15th.
Not crying.
I know.
Me
I
too.
I
I'm
couldn't
crying now.
I couldn't tell the story to Amy, but now
She
I
couldn't
know
get through
something
it
about the
earlier.
microphone. Okay, that's my headline.
Yeah, that's a
my headline.
beautiful headline.
Really beautiful.
Anyone
We all
else?
need to read the story.
Yeah, it's everywhere. I think it's everywhere right now.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to watch it, I suppose, on September 15th.
Fantastic.
Incredible.
And why do they go on the 9th?
I think they have to go get ready and get prepared and
COVID tests.
Yes,
all that.
yes, yes.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're circling the Earth for 3 days. They're not doing what those other
wow.
quote-unquote billionaire missions were. Those went up and came down.
Yeah. 2
This
minutes.
is going up and circling the Earth for 3 days. So they're sleeping there. They're getting to know
How
each
cool
other.
is that? I couldn't do it, but how cool is that?
I was just going to say.
I won't even go on a Ferris wheel.
I know.
I
I
would do
can't.
that before skydiving.
I
Probably.
can't drive a Mulholland unless I'm in the front seat. All right, now I'm done with mine.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Well, mine is not as some of it is happy, I guess, some not. As everybody's been following the Afghanistan debacle, a lot of the animals have gotten evacuated, a lot haven't. Some have had happy endings, some haven't. It's still a work in progress. A lot of us in this group are working on it, I know, but we'll keep you posted. I don't want to take up too much time, but we're following the events as they progress. But this Penn Farthing, who was a CNN hero, got almost 200 animals evacuated. The U.S. government has not been as successful. They've said they've gotten some of the military dogs out. Some haven't. We don't really know exactly what's going on yet, but we'll stay tuned.
So heartbreaking.
I'd like to know where we can help in the Los Angeles area. In Utah, they seem to have it really under, because they're getting a lot of people, not just the animals, but people there. I'd like to know
I
how
agree.
we can help
I
here.
would like to, too. Maybe we
Nope.
could
If
have
anybody's-
information by next week.
If anybody's listening to this and they have a great idea rather than something that we don't know where the money's going, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
go to our social media and drop us a message.
For the
because-
Afghan evacuees and for the animals
Yeah,
evacuated.
because we'd love to
Yes.
do something.
Yeah.
Anyway, heartbreaking.
Do you have a head?
So I do. Well, this isn't really a headline. Kind of is. Well, first, I'll tell you what was a headline. It was Michael K. Williams. I'm just stunned.
Another horrible.
So
story.
sad because the whole thing. He knew he had an illness, and had been coping with it or dealing with it.
Do you know what it is?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, it's been written about in the
Oh, yeah.
newspaper,
Oh,
but
I-
it's not.
What is it?
It's not our place probably to.
No,
say.
but it sounds like they did say there was paraphernalia found there.
Oh, I didn't know.
And he
I didn't see it.
he had
I was looking.
a problem before that. He even once came out and said the drugs aren't the problem.
It's
I
mental
have
health.
a problem, and the drugs are what's masking, It's,
Right. Well,
So-
but mental
so
health has
sad.
been in the news nonstop lately. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
amazing we have it together with everything. You just want to crawl under the covers.
Yeah.
The last few weeks.
I know. I mean, and we just, as a nation, don't really deal with it.
Yeah.
We
well,
need
look at
to.
the homeless problem.
No.
And
Yeah.
We need to
That's-
have shelters. We need to have facilities.
A mental illness problem, I
Yes.
think, and a coping problem.
That's what we need to spend our money on. Mental health facilities.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where you could go.
Yeah.
And take your dogs with you.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Right.
That's a huge
right.
issue for a lot of people.
Or cat.
Yeah.
Let's.
Just not your peacocks and stuff that have ruined the airlines for letting people travel with their service animals.
Oh.
Well, but if that's your soulmate,
No,
why
you don't need
not?
a camel or a mini horse or a
might.
peacock. No, you don't.
I might
I
need.
need a service squirrel.
Oh, yeah,
Somebody
I
in
need a
Santa
goose.
Monica had a party and there was a giraffe there. Did you read that?
Disgusting.
No, that's horrible.
Really horrible.
Sorry.
But we do.
One of our headlines was, that Diane Warren has a new album out, The Cave Sessions, Volume 1.
Volume 1.
There's going to be 42
which
volumes.
promises a volume 2.
But
So
aren't we going
she
to
is-
save this
she is-
for when
no,
we
but
have
she's
done
in the
it?
headline.
Yes,
That
she
was
is a headline.
So we'll bring
She-
her on the show at some
Okay.
point soon. But she's in People Magazine right now. You could read about it.
No big deal.
Just People Magazine.
Val Kilmer's on the cover, and that was a good story too. Okay,
That was a great story. That was a great
Actually, I saw the
documentary.
documentary.
Me
the
too.
I
other
did
night.
too. It was
I'm
brilliant.
the only one that hasn't seen it.
You know what I
gotta
think
watch.
about all the time? How freeing it would be to just hack your hair off with a knife.
No, that was disturbing.
Oh God, I loved it. I was
Oh my
like,
God,
yes.
that really
and he looked
upset
good.
me. What?
I thought he looked good.
Well-
he had like chunky layers.
But Gloria had a story, and then I want to tell my story that Amy me about.
Okay, who's going first?
Okay, well, my story's kind of sad.
Oh,
and you'd
no.
really have to know my husband to appreciate how
We
sad
do.
it is.
We know your husband.
Yes, we
Okay,
love. No one
so-
missed to love him.
My husband was had 3 dogs in the car with him, and he realized that he's out driving and didn't have their leashes, but he wasn't sure. He couldn't remember putting them in the car, but he just wasn't sure. So he pulled over near that gas station next to the Triumph place and opened the door to have a quick look for leashes and called me and said, "Oh, I forgot the leashes." And I'm like, "Don't worry, we've got more. Just leave them. Just go." So he's driving probably about 20 minutes. Oh, and when he called me, he was telling me how much of a nuisance Buster, the little one, was, and how he keeps wanting to get on his lap, and then he wants to sit in the middle bit, and wants to get on his lap, then he wants to go in the back seat, and he's kind of flying around the car. So, which I think must mean people should harness their dogs in when you're in the car, and especially because as he's 20 minutes later and realizing Buster isn't still being a nuisance, he pulls over real quick and realizes Buster's not in the car.
What? Oh
Where
my
was he?
God.
So he just was like sick.
Oh my God,
Didn't know
oh
what
my
to do.
God,
Didn't
oh
know
my
if he
God.
should call
Well, how did he
me,
get out?
Didn't know what to do.
The
When he-
windows aren't open, are they?
No. But he quickly turned around and went back to where he stopped the car. When he opened the door to look for the leash, Buster jumped out.
Oh my God.
So there's no dog. And Buster's this
Okay, I'm
big. He's
getting
the
upset.
teeniest little thing. No, I was sick. And he's
Oh my
standing there in the
God.
gas station screaming Buster's name for minutes. And this man came up to him and said, "Are you looking for a small little brown and white dog?" And he's like, yes. Oh my God, where is he? And so he pointed to the Triumph place and said, "The ladies in there saw him and they brought him in."
Oh,
and
my
so
God.
Terry went rushing over, and Buster's in there under a chair because he's very shy.
Oh my God.
With a bowl of water. They gave him a bowl of water.
Oh
And
my God.
can you imagine?
Oh.
He was so sick and so upset. He's telling me the story, and I'm nearly puking and like.
Right.
And so, what was the bad part? I mean, it's bad that the dog was lost, but you were saying that something about your husband that was terrible, but he didn't do
That he
anything
lost
wrong.
our dog.
he
Well.
did lose the dog.
I guess that's true.
That's pretty terrible.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
we're so lucky that we
Yes,
have him
you
back.
are. My God, he could have.
That those
No,
people,
don't even.
everything.
It's
I know.
now you have to
Thank
get to know those people
God.
in Utah. You have to go into the Triumph place. I don't even know
Yes.
what they do in that
Yeah,
Triumph
you
place.
need to
Not
take
cars,
her some of
motor-
one of your alligators or cookies or one of
Alligator.
your sweets.
So people know it's a dessert.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a pastry that I think you can only get at Gelson's.
All right,
But that's not
whatever.
true.
Take
Oh,
her
how funny.
something.
Or
So a couple of
Okay.
weeks ago, my dad takes his dog, a little black Chihuahua, small dog, to the vet to get her nails trimmed. And she hates the vet. She hates all of that. So, and she's always on a little leash, just a little collar leash. And she's kind of, she's literally 10 pounds overweight for a Chihuahua. Like
Oh,
she
oh,
is
no, they're not
she
good.
is a tank with like a little neck and then a little pointy face. So the collar, if she wanted to, if she freaks
get
out or
out.
pulls, it literally it comes right off her.
Oh,
like
that's why you put a harness on them.
Yes, so we say. So he's at the vet with Sable is her name, and he walks into the front door, and some little white dog freaks out with their owner and runs out the door, and Sable like has a spaz attack because that freaks her out, and she's already freaked out, and she bolts out that
her.
front door. They both
Out of the
they
co-
crisscross
out of the collar.
right out of the collar, out the front door of the vet.
Oh my God.
They crisscross paths. The little white dog goes somewhere. She's contained very quickly. Sable is running down. This is like in the middle of Phoenix.
Oh my God.
Main streets, running towards a freeway ramp. My dad, 74 years old, like running
my
after her,
gosh.
gets in the car, like driving towards whatever direction he thinks he saw her last. At one point, she comes running. She sees him. They're on a main busy street. She sees him. She's panicking, running towards him, and he's thinking, "Great, she's gonna come right here." She stops, freaks out, and runs the other way.
No.
Towards a freeway on ramp. Yes.
Oh, my
Didn't get onto the freeway anyway. Very long story short, the vet calls him that a rescue organization had just called. She had run into Lowe's because my dad takes her. It's Phoenix. It's 150
She needed
degrees
to
a
buy
day.
something.
She needed some lumber for her project. Yeah, she's very crafty.
To beat your father
For
with.
Auntie. Yes, exactly. She had run into Lowe's. My dad takes her to these like Home Depot and Lowe's to walk because they're air conditioned, so he
That's
walks
actually
around with her all
kinda
the
smart.
time.
Yeah.
So maybe she felt comfortable or like knew the smells of something like that. Ran in there, they trapped her and took her to a rescue organization down the street.
Oh no.
The vet had already called that rescue it alerted like all the animal places.
Wow.
And they basically bring, my
How
dad
many
goes
hours
and picks up.
was this whole
like
thing?
2 hours or an hour and a half, 2 hours. But like the stress
It's overwhelming.
is overwhelming. I believe that I would like to surgically attach my dogs to my body at all
No
times.
kidding. You should.
Yes,
You should.
I know.
Somehow.
I want a kangaroo
Zip
pouch.
tie.
Yes.
You don't even have to do
Well,
You
surgery.
have those baby carriers.
Yes.
There
People
are,
do that. I know people that do
Oh, me
that.
too. Me too.
I'm
Amy,
not
there
far.
are now collars that have a GPS that attaches to your Find My Dog.
Yes.
Like
We're
We're
Find
getting
My
Gloria
Phone.
one of those
Yes.
because we don't know where she's going to be ever. One day she's in Utah. One
I
day
know.
she's
We'll
in
put
Las
that around
Vegas.
your neck.
One day she's in
I
New
love
York.
you in GPS
should've put
collars
that.
because I can't keep track of you, or we need like a family schedule so I can
Oh, that's
see
a
where
good
you
idea.
are at all times.
Yeah.
If I knew how to do that, that's a good idea.
I do know how to do that.
Okay,
I
we can do
don't.
that.
Well, I'm going to make one, but you have to get a Google.
And then you have to fill in
Yeah, it's
where
not
you're going to
hard.
be and what you're doing.
She
so-
doesn't even know where she is this whole
She
year. I'm
doesn't.
like,
I know.
what do you?
Do you know where you are
don't-
right now?
Where?
You're at Risa's.
Amy zapped me this morning because Nick, our brilliant producer over there, technician producer. So I said, somehow I asked him where he was from because he went to the University of Connecticut. My older sister lives in Connecticut. And he said he was from Washington, but not really Washington, really Maryland, right outside of Washington. Where? Bethesda. That's where
Where
I'm
you're
from.
from?
Yeah.
But I was telling this story this morning of talking to this director who's brilliant. His name is Bur Steers. And he talks like this. How do you talk when you have this really high class accent? You know,
Oh,
Like a
this?
antique collector from Connecticut.
and so one day on the phone with him, I said to him, "Where are you from?" And he said, "Washington, D.C." And I said, "So am I." And he said, "Well, not really Washington, really Bethesda, Maryland, right outside." And I said, "So am I." And I go, "Where did you live?" And he said, "On the corner of Bradley Boulevard and Wilson Lane." And I said, "So did I." Now listen to the way I talk. And if you can only imagine that accent.
But is he your brother?
No, there's on every corner, there's 4 corners, right? So he must
Did
have
you
lived
live at the same time?
yeah,
What street?
the corner of Bradley
No, what
Boulevard.
street did you live on?
Bradley Boulevard.
Okay.
But I lived on the corner.
I know, but my aunt and uncle lived right off of Wilson on Crail Drive.
Near me?
Well, yes, because
Oh my
I lived
gosh.
in D.C. and I was over there a lot.
See? So, but his uncle was Gore Vidal. You know Gore Vidal.
Oh, my God,
So
yes.
they were both kind of had that upper class thing that I
Yes.
didn't clearly
We
have.
know a few people
Well,
like
I
that.
thought, wasn't Gore Vidal not American anyway?
I think
Yes,
he was
he was.
American.
Was he?
Yes, he
Because
was
his
just.
daughter lives in England. lived in England.
Should we look that up?
lives.
Yeah, but he was related to Jackie O.
He was?
But you don't have to be American to be related to
No,
Jackie
but I
O.
think he was. But
Oh.
we'll see.
Who knew? What a silly name then.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I like
mean-
the name. He was an interesting man.
I have another story after somebody tells a story.
Okay, go ahead and tell the next
Tell
one.
it.
Well, it really has nothing to do with the headline, which is what we're about. But I will tell you a headline story. I'm going to read it to you even, okay?
But wait, tell us the story.
Well, first I'm going to tell you
Okay,
about
all right.
this.
Okay, here,
this.
where did Gore Vidal grow up? Raised in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
Vidal attended the Sidwell Friends School and
Right.
St. Albans School. See, like his nephew, they went to private schools. I went to public school. I'm a public school girl.
That's why you talk like that.
Clearly, with that accent. Jeez.
Okay, according to the Daily Mail online, men following a plant-based diet break wind 7 times more than men that aren't on a plant-based diet. Who knew?
So is that the reason to not put your men on plant-based diets?
I just wanted to share that with everybody,
Oh,
just in
thank you,
case you
Flo.
wondered
Thank
why.
you.
Well, you do know that. Do you
Those
remember
are
the? Do you remember
Sloane's
the
favorite
headline?
facts.
Do you
It's
remember
in
the?
Sloane's favorite fact
Oh,
category.
yes.
Do you remember the headline that Chris West wanted us to do? He decided to give his opinion about. There was a girl in an exercise class.
Oh, yes.
Okay, he wanted us. He decided that he should contribute to our podcast. And there was a girl in an exercise class that they had to cancel. They had to let everybody out of the class. 'Cause whatever. I hope
Because she was windy.
correct.
Windy.
And he
Windy.
thought
This
he
is
should.
fascinating,
Windy,
girls.
windy.
Can we get into something
Okay.
a little more in depth?
Okay,
little more
well, there's
highbrow.
another headline
Yes.
that's really disgusting. There's this
Wait,
domestic
what, that
abuser.
wasn't disgusting enough?
Different kind of disgusting.
Okay.
And it's going to lead into my story about
Okay.
nearly killing somebody.
Okay.
Oh.
But, well, this one's much worse. Why are you laughing? That's not a funny subject.
Murdering somebody?
Yeah,
You?
this domestic abuser was freed by Kamala Harris's backed bail fund. He's now been charged with murder. That's nice.
She freed him.
God.
She had him freed.
with her. Did you read that?
I hadn't seen that.
Because she set up this bail
Well, there's been
fund
so
thing.
many other murders in the last week of husbands murdering their 2 kids.
I know,
someone else-
I know.
I mean, there has been
Don't-
several
don't.
of these.
Couldn't be any worse at the
Okay.
moment.
I know. Knock on wood. Let's turn it around somehow.
It makes something
Okay, I
happy.
have a headline.
Okay, and then I'll tell you about my murder
Okay.
story.
The Theranos girl.
Oh,
Elizabeth
yes.
Oh, what
Holmes,
happened?
Yes.
What happened?
They are doing jury selection the last week.
Oh, I wish
there
it
is
was me.
also not to push another podcast, but there is one about the jury trial starting that's very interesting called The Dropout, which started
I'm writing that
about the
down.
trial last on August 31st. So yesterday should have been part 2.
Okay.
Because it's every Tuesday they're dropping one. But she had a baby this summer
She did.
Whoa.
with a guy who's from a very wealthy family.
Does he have a name?
Billy Evans, hotelier family.
Yes.
I think they own a mega hotel maybe in San Diego or La Jolla. But anyway, supposedly he's as crazy as she is.
Yeah.
And so they have
Well,
a
he'd have to
great
be.
bond. He's also 10 years younger.
Yeah.
And having this baby, she thought would make her sympathetic to the jury so they wouldn't put her away for 20 years. But then they're saying other attorneys or defense attorneys or on the other side saying absolutely the jury might find this offensive that she's underestimating their intelligence, that they'll see right through her reasoning for having this child. Anyway, it's very interesting.
Fascinating.
I would
They're
love to
saying
hear
a
that jury.
2-week trial, and I think it starts today.
Where? In what state? New York?
I think San Francisco.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the state of San Francisco, I think.
The state of California.
Yeah. Crazy.
That was a crazy story. Okay, what's your murder story? Did you really
Yes.
murder somebody?
No,
You just wanted to.
No, I didn't want to.
Oh.
So I was at the gas station, and
That's always
Are we
good.
back to the gas station?
it does. I was
Are
at
we
the,
at a different gas station?
then oh yeah, totally different state. I was at a gas station in Los Angeles, and I put my gas in, and instead of driving straight out, I had to back up because the person in front of me was, I guess, having his lunch there or something. I had no idea, but he was gone for ages. So I backed up and hit a car.
Oh, no.
that I didn't know was right there.
Oh.
Oh, it
And-
just magically appeared.
Yeah. Well, it did kind of, but it was in the when I
This
backed.
sounds like my husband. I didn't know there was a car behind me.
Well, I went to back up out like into a way where I could pull out another way.
So
And
you were
In the
this
wrong.
str-
I was
okay.
definitely in the wrong. But the car was actually by the service part. There's a gas station part and a service part. And I hit it and I thought, oh my God, I'm running so late. I'm not even going to get out of this car. What damage could I have done? And I looked back and I thought, shoot, I've got to get out. What if somebody saw everybody's around? I've got to get out. Don't make a face like that. I would have left a note with my phone number or left some money on the car or something.
Okay.
But
I have that face too.
how does it go? Do it
Let's
again.
see.
It's a judgy face.
That was your blow up doll face.
Yes, it was. I confused the two.
So I go to the car. There's a kid in the front seat. And I went, you okay? The window was up. She rolls the window down. I said, are you okay? And she said, yes. And all of a sudden, a man comes out from under the car and said, you nearly effing killed me. You could have killed me. That was so dangerous what you did. I was under my car fixing something and you hit it and it pushed my car forward. And I said, no, it didn't. I'm arguing with him. I said, it couldn't have pushed your car forward because I'm exactly where I was. And your car, how could it have pushed you forward? I barely tapped it. He said, you pushed it forward. You pushed me forward and he showed me. Anyway, really long story
This
short.
guy
because-
could have taken out a gun and shot you, by the way, as you're
So
arguing.
I was really sure. I wasn't just arguing for arguing's sake. I was really sure I didn't push him. So I was arguing about it. But anyway, he was literally, had the car moved another quarter of an inch, would have ran straight over him with his daughter in the car. How horrible is that? It wasn't on purpose. But the whole time this is happening, by the way, I wasn't going anywhere.
When
I
was this?
a little while ago. I
Like
don't know
how-
why I'm sharing now.
Yeah, she didn't.
No, I do
somehow
know
tell
why.
any of us.
No,
that
no,
story.
I do know why I'm sharing now. I saw him yesterday, but listen. So that's why I'm sharing now.
dating now?
You knew the person that was under the
Yes,
car?
that's the worst part
Oh,
of the
wait,
story.
I knew the story.
you knew
That's
Who
the
was
worst
that?
from
I
before?
remember
Yes.
this. You heard this story before. Who was that?
I'm not telling. But anyway, he's a well-known person in the music business.
Oh no.
But I knew him. But I also did work with him for City of Hope. That's how I knew him.
Oh my God.
Was really the
Whoa.
work we were doing for City of Hope.
So
and
when
I'm
he
looking
popped
at him,
up, you were like, oh, you're
no,
you.
I knew he looked familiar. And I'm like, but I'm in such shock. I just can't even believe this happened. I want to get out of there. And I have on my pajama. I couldn't have been any more grotesque if I tried. This was one of those days if somebody would have said, stick on something. We're going to a Halloween party. Look as messy as you, whatever. That's what I look like, except a little worse. I'm looking at him going, I know him, and I just hope he doesn't recognize me through all these holes in my T-shirt and whatever. And he's looking at me and he went, Gloria? And I went, Jason? And it
Was that his name really?
Yeah.
Or you made that
No,
up?
that was his name. And it was just awful.
Ralph.
Yeah.
But so not
George.
That's what I would have done. So, Harvey.
so I should have, when he said Gloria, I should have said no.
Yeah, right.
Oh right.
No, my twin's name's Gloria, funnily enough, but that's not my name. But isn't that a horrible story?
That's a horrible story.
I just wanted to share.
Are you friends now?
Well, we don't have any reason to see each other. But we're not.
But you're not.
We left on decent terms.
Okay. After you tried to kill him.
That's a really good story. Anybody else have a great story?
That's a feel good.
But I saw him yesterday.
Oh.
And it was like,
Oh, are
yeah.
y'all would
Does he
y'all
have
lunch
skid
together
marks on
or
him?
meet at another gas station or
Tire
Literally.
tracks? Tire tracks across the forehead?
Is that how you recognized him?
or something in his underpants.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, God, I just can't help myself.
No, I know. Did you want to talk about that other headline that you saw this morning
Yes,
that you did
I
research on about
actually
the people
would.
that look alike?
which one?
Remember those two people that look
Oh, that one. Well, that's an unbelievable. I mean, I had to like do a little R&D after you mentioned that.
What's that mean?
Research and development.
In stereo.
So I listen to Tori Spelling quite often because she's on Jeff Lewis's Sirius show a lot, and I had no clue
Serious.
that
as in
she had
the-
totally Sirius XM.
because she's not serious. I
She
don't
looks
think.
completely different.
But I also, when I had
She
seen
looks
Chloe on some commercial, I guess it was last summer, when I texted my stepdaughter, like, OMG, is this the same person? I mean, these girls, I don't mind. I think that there's nothing wrong with doing whatever you want to do to feel good, but they look totally different human beings.
Oh my gosh.
You know what, though?
Oh, I
And
see
they
what
do
you're
look
saying.
alike.
They do look alike. But you know what?
I wonder if they went to
listen.
the same doctor.
They probably, and they both look good. Let's
They
give
do.
Them,
They
let's
look
give them that
great.
much. It's interesting. When my son played hockey in Medicine Hat, Alberta, he lived with a family because when they're younger, they have to live with billet families. And the woman that was the billet mother, like there was a husband and a wife that he lived with, and they were the nicest people, the most amazing human beings ever. Her name was Natalie. I'll give her her whole name. Natalie Sawyer. Most amazing human being. She used to change her hair color once every 6 weeks. Sometimes it would be black. Sometimes it would be blonde. Sometimes it would be red. Sometimes
fun.
she would have highlights, strips. And her husband
For
would
her
say,
husband.
Her husband would say, it's like sleeping with a different woman every 6 weeks.
I know a couple women
So
in
you
Dallas
don't-
like that.
you don't
and
have
you,
to-
And
you
sometimes
don't-
I don't recognize them.
And by the way, with those two women, so you don't get that 7-year itch or that whatever. You're with a different woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it was.
No,
are the
they
guys
look
doing for them?
fantastic. They just don't look
Doing the same.
like them.
No. They're doing.
But is your sister's name?
I don't have
No,
a sister.
I know you don't.
I have a
Who did you-
stepsister.
Oh, is that who did you say you texted?
Oh, Don's daughter.
Oh, that's what it was.
Stepdaughter.
But is her name OMG or was it
No,
OMG?
it was an oh
You
my
said-
God, because maybe we had.
No,
I
you
mean,
said
I was
I
just,
texted.
we were talking about whether we were talking about some commercial or something, and I did not know. She didn't look anything like her. And we've seen her go through lots of different,
Yeah.
Which one?
Chloe. But Tori went from that,
So extreme.
yeah.
And I know you
both
don't have
look
a
great.
sister.
It's
No, I know you.
yeah.
You had another headline. I interrupted you.
Oh, the more interesting headline. I mean, not that that's not fascinating and fun. Coming from the state of Texas, which I'm just dying of embarrassment.
That's why you're
And I
moving.
know Gloria is too, since she was
So
born
embarrassed.
there
I
as
don't
well.
Even, don't even ever tell anybody that. I
Well,
was born there.
okay, I'll take that back. We'll clip this.
Okay.
I just can't believe we're living in the United States of America.
It's like Handmaid's
I
Tale
really
times.
can't.
I mean, it's
I
bizarre.
really can't. And I was watching Rachel last night, Mad Al, and she was talking about how Mexico,
Yes.
the country of Mexico,
Yeah.
how they are
Catholic.
going into the 22nd century and we're going into the 18th, 19th
Yeah.
century,
Yeah.
that they have now done the opposite,
Yeah.
legalized abortion, and women are running across state lines.
It is so depressing.
Well,
have
it's
just-
almost evil. This Abbott is really almost is evil. I mean, what he vetoed the bill, which I think we talked about in one of our podcasts, of tethering dogs with chains.
Yeah.
When that was a bipartisan bill in the Texas legislature to get rid of tying dogs up with chains, he's all for. What's the difference between that and stopping women from having babies from rape? You're raped and you have to give birth to this baby?
And isn't there the rule that if you terminate that child, the father of that child can
Sue you.
sue you for $10,000?
No, the Uber driver who drives you to as if all these
Gets
women
sued
are
for
taking
$10,000.
Ubers to their, can turn you in like the Stasi in East Germany.
Is that your-
or
I
Nazi
think-
Germany,
I think
you know?
that's your raggery is what
That's
Okay,
definitely
Well,
a
it's
it's a
raggery.
headline
Definitely.
and it's a raggery. It
Okay.
is.
Do we have raggery?
But there's also, wait, here's another headline. Today, Caitlyn Jenner is all for the state of Texas making their own law. Although she's pro-choice, but in Texas you have no choice.
then it
It
doesn't
makes
even
no
make
sense.
sense.
Makes no sense.
Total hypocrisy.
Anyway,
Well, I guess she won't be having babies.
Do you have a kudos? Does anybody have a kudos?
Thank God.
Do you have a kudos?
I'm mad
I
now.
do.
I'm just mad.
I do.
You do? Okay, good. Go.
Well, my kudos goes to Spencer Haber, who is a friend of ours, and he supplied an airplane, a jet, whatever they're called, to get Penn Farthington.
well, he actually did raise the $200,000. Penn did raise the $200,000 for the jet. But I think Haber facilitated a lot of it and maybe filled in what else was needed.
Amazing.
Well, I don't
Whether
think
there
that's how
was-
the story goes.
But he did raise the $200,000.
Well, maybe
with
there
the
were two jets.
Okay, maybe.
Maybe his 200,000 went for food.
That's what I'm saying.
Anyway, he did something that was really commendable.
Yes, he
That's my
did. He
kudos.
absolutely
I don't even know what
did.
it was, obviously, but he did well. And I guess Stacy doesn't like Spencer as much as I do, so she's making it.
Oh my God. I don't know Spencer as well as you biblically must know him, but
Did you sleep with him? Did you?
Did
Did
you
I what?
sleep with him?
No, for a couple of years, so I was married.
How many years
And-
have you been married?
41. 'Cause
Okay,
I got
got it.
married when I
Got
was 9. That's what they did in Missouri back then.
Yeah.
So,
That happens. you know.
but yes, no.
That's wonderful.
And you do? You have a kudos?
well, actually, mine pertains to Afghanistan as well, too. One is that Penfarthing, who would not leave Kabul without his animals, got the majority of them out with the help of Spencer and a lot of other people. And there's another girl that I know
Charlotte.
named Charlotte, and she actually worked in Dallas with an animal charity, but she is with the Kabul Small Animal Shelter right now, and she will not leave until she can get every animal out. And it's really a long story, so I won't go into it, but there's all kinds of messy stories happening right now with all this.
And what's really sad is there's large animal organizations that are doing nothing that we all donate to because we all know their name. And
That we're furious with. So
yeah, and they seem to be doing nothing to help
they have a
animals.
statement?
one
on
is
it
I
or
would
a
like to
stance on
say,
it?
I would mention the Humane Society International and Kitty Block hasn't done shit. And I want to know what they are doing, and HSUS, to get these animals out of Afghanistan. I don't see her anywhere. I don't see any people. I do see IFA doing something, at least with what's happening in Ida. Anyway, I'm very upset about it.
There's a new hurricane coming. Hurricane Larry.
I saw that. It's
That doesn't even
upsetting.
sound scary.
It sounds funny.
I know.
Sounds
Should
more
we call
like
it
a
Larry
Lawrence.
David?
If we said Lawrence, would that help?
Yeah, it sounds like Larry David.
Well, it's probably true. It's probably going to drizzle in.
Yeah.
Larry, drizzle. You know, it's going to wash the cars and then you'll be fine. Hey, Larry.
Oh, the Jewish hurricane.
All talk and no action. I hope.
I have another headline, though, I'd like to bring up.
fine.
How much time do you spend reading the papers?
A lot. By the way, did anybody follow this Obama's birthday party in
Yes.
Nantucket?
Well, sort of half-assed.
A little
okay.
bit.
I won't give my commentary on that. But
No.
did you hear about Dershowitz running
No.
into Larry David?
No.
Since
No.
we're talking about Larry.
Oh.
So Larry, I don't know if they're at a deli or a coffee shop or, some place like we would all see on Curb. So Larry goes up
It
to
was
him.
a little racist, kind of. Was it? You said, I don't know if they were at a deli. Why?
Well,
They're both
because they
Jewish?
were at some place, some kind. Well, they are, and they
Okay, go on.
play one on TV.
Okay, go on. Okay.
And Larry went up and blasted Dershowitz
For what?
about what a piece of shit he is,
Good.
defending
He
Trump,
deserves it.
and on and on and on, and it's actually
You know, he was
was
on the
kinda
Jeffrey
really
Epstein
liked it.
list, too, that everybody
Yes.
seems
Who
to
was? He
roll
is.
over.
Dershowitz. Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, not Larry David.
What's happening with
Larry
that?
David.
That's how bad rumors
What
start.
is happening with that woman that...
I know.
Oh, by the way, Larry David was also disinvited from
Yeah, I
Obama's
know, I
birthday
Well, a lot of
party.
people were disinvited
Yeah.
because
It's
it was
just
going to be
disgusting
too
in
big.
itself.
It
That's
really
a hard
is.
one.
I guess he had to prioritize his celebrity.
Yeah,
That's a
but
hard
it's-
one.
it's
to
kinda
be-
gross.
Who you were
Really
disinviting
gross.
and who you weren't.
Yeah.
That's bad.
But what is happening with that woman?
I don't know.
The Jeffrey Epstein. The,
Oh, the,
what's her name?
Ghislaine?
Maxwell.
Gis-
Yeah.
Ghislaine?
Oh, Ghislaine.
Ghislaine.
She's in.
I know, but you
prison.
don't hear anything.
Well, I
know,
think they're
thought she was
getting
gonna
their
spill her guts. No?
spill her guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
And like
cut a deal.
divulge all the people and cut a deal.
I just read
Well,
in the
I think
newspaper
they must
today
be working on it
that.
because
that Prince Edward is going to hide in his mother's castle.
Womb.
Womb.
Castle.
First thing I thought, too.
Because they're coming. There's some people that are coming after him with sexual assault. you know.
Edward or Andrew.
I meant Andrew.
Andrew.
That's what I
Andrew.
meant. Sorry, Edward. So he's going to hide in his mom's house.
Oh, he's gotten so gross.
because he's
really.
people are coming after him today. That's what I read
Good.
in the newspaper.
Good.
Yeah.
And Fergie's not looking so great these days. They're hiding together.
I saw
out on
that. I did see that. I didn't read it, but I saw the two of
Oh,
them.
we
do
have
it.
gotten so gossipy just
Yes.
Ooh, we really are rags.
Yeah.
Oh, we are. This
Scoopy
is a
today.
raggery.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you should probably say goodbye because it's over. It's time.
Because I'm hungry.
I'm surprised the mics aren't picking up my stomach growling.
Okay.
Maybe they are.
Well,
Did you?
Until next time. Until next time.
Okay, everyone. Hope it's soon, actually. Next week.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Yes, yes.